I've had several surgeries before and you wake up and you're kind of out of it and it's slurring your words a little bit.
Yeah.
This was like a full-on hallucination where like the walls were melting and I was sweating and it felt like the air was on fire.
Subtle grin, refill the memory, no medicine, the way you held your lighter, think back to it all, no consequence.
Hey everybody, it's Matt Pinfield here for Pinfield Sessions on the SoCal Sound, and I'm here with one of my favorite bands that originated here in Southern California, Los Angeles. I have loved them for a long time. They've been a very important part of my journey, and I'm so happy to have them here today. It's Ken Andrews and Greg Edwards and Kelly Scott from the band Failure. And guys, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. I've been such a fan of the bands for so long that I even wrote in my book, which is the book, all these things that I've done, when I talk about the MTV years, about how, for me, they were such an important band, and the record Fantastic Planet, I thought was spectacular, that when the single came out for Stuck on You, which is now considered an absolute classic of that area from the 90s, of that era, it's just one of those things that I wrote that was one of my biggest regrets. Being in the music department at MTV was not being able to rally everybody else to have the same opinion that I did, that it should have been a buzz clip. And, in retrospect, I don't know whether that's because there was something else that they were pushing for, or that somebody was a different kind of label priority. I don't remember that. I just know that it was important to me to try and make it. And plus, you directed that video. The video for Stuck on You was so creative. It reminded me of like the beginning of a James Bond film. It had this very Bond-esque, those incredible openings of those movies.
Yeah.
It was so special, and it was different than everything else. And of course, it was on 120 Minutes who played it, but I loved Fantastic Planet so much, the album. That was one of
Buzz Clip was so important then.
It was, yeah.
Buzz Clip, I don't know if people remember it, but it was like, if you were an alternative band at the time and you got an MTV Buzz Clip and things didn't, and you didn't sell, it would be weird.
Yeah.
Because it was like a rocket getting strapped to, basically.
Yeah.
In terms of visibility and promotion, and that's what the label was hoping for. I remember when we delivered the video, they were like, "This is gonna be Buzz Clip. We're going for it."
It deserved to be. I loved it, and for all these years, it was just so great when you guys got back together, because you did have so much more to do. I was so happy. That was a big deal for everybody, and. I think for those of you that are watching, Fantastic Planet is considered one of the best albums of the 1990s. And even throughout that period of time, so many other artists loved the record and spoke of it with such absolute fondness, and just loved and were inspired by the record. So I think it's important that we always let people know how much that meant to people, and just how incredible it was when you got back together. And so what I'm pumped about too is I want to talk about the new record, but can we talk about, because what was so special about Fantastic Planet 2 was the fact that you did that on your terms. Which was, can you talk about that? You ended up renting a house and recording it yourself, doing things differently, and can we talk about how that all transpired?
Lita Ford's house.
It was Lita Ford's first house.
Yeah.
And she was living somewhere else at the time. She was renting it. But I think we had the experience that maybe a lot of other bands have, where you make demos that have a certain magic to them or a certain personality, and we were losing that when we went into the studio to record Comfort and Magnified, the first two records. And it just so happened that Bob Biggs, the owner of Slash Records, agreed with us. In fact, after we had recorded the second album, Magnified, and turned it in, he wanted to release the demos instead of the finished record. And we couldn't quite get our heads around that, because the demos were still demos to us because they had drum machine and we wanted a real drummer on our record. But the sound and the experimentation was there, and so, and it was also at the time when technology was coming into play in terms of cheap multi-track recording. The ADAT had just come out, which recorded 8 channels of digital audio, and you could sync up to like 5 machines together and essentially have a real recording studio in your bedroom. So we presented the idea to Bob of letting us make Fantastic Planet, our 3rd record, on our own, and he agreed immediately.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, we had our arguments with Bob, for sure, but that was one moment that really changed everything for us.
Yeah. I mean, and here's a guy who, you know, of course, said you guys, Violent Femmes, or, you know, just so many...
Faith No More.
Yeah, Faith No More. Germs.
Boys.
Yeah, there's so much good stuff, right? So, you know, I've been around music for a long time. I've seen scenes rise, and I've seen them disappear. And the difference is always the same, whether people show up and support what they believe in. What you're watching right now, real artists, real performances, that only happens because listeners like you stand behind it. Community Amplified means music lovers supporting musicians directly. It means having deep conversations and hearing stories from your favorite artists. It means keeping independent voices strong. If you believe music should still have places like this radio station, where it's respected, where it's curated with passion and intention, become a member of the SoCal Sound. Because when you support this station, you're supporting the future of music itself. Please find the link in the description to make a donation today. You know, you were a good company there, but I love that he had the artist sensibility to let you make that record. And the record is a recording masterpiece. It still holds up in every way. I mean, the way that it sounds, the feel, the emotion, but I mean, the different layers of the songs and everything from the interludes. It's beautiful. Tell me about that, Greg, in retrospect for you.
On Fantastic Planet. I was just going to say, in terms of Bob and his vision and his confidence because a lot of people in the record industry and in positions like his, it's all about the big studio and the real producer and the real mixer, and that's when the real thing's going to happen. No matter how good the demo is, they almost can't, they're not open to how good the demo may be. But Bob actually, he could tell that what we did when we were in our little cocoon working, and what came out of those demos was something special that couldn't be replicated. You know, it was very hard to replicate or better in spirit when you got into the professional setting. And we were just lucky that we had him at that moment.
We were just short tracks. We only had 4 tracks for the demos, and we kept having to go, we'd record 3 tracks, bounce those down to 1 track, like the Beatles did, basically.
But even so, even with all the limitations and the fidelity limitations, he still was responding to something that because part of the process of how Ken and I wrote was, it wasn't just writing a song that could then, you could have the ultimate version of it realized in a professional studio. It was the actual layering and creating of it in the room we were working in with the 4-track, even with all the limitations, the spirit of the thing was contained within that. And I feel like Bob responded to that, and that was lucky for us at that moment, because we could have had 100 other people at the head of a label who would not have gotten
Even our management at the time, it's like, they're going to say no.
They wouldn't have encouraged
I don't want you to do that. I would like you guys to work with a producer as a proven sales track record.
The conventional wisdom was...
That's what it is, because it's just fear. It's fear of not using the best people, the people that have had hit records. And, there's like something to that, I guess. But in terms of the actual quality and substance of an album, it has very little to do with producers and mixers.
Yeah, I mean, especially with, I gotta say, with guys that are as creative and as individual as you are, but also as an incredible sum of its parts, the way I see it, which is one of the things I've always loved about that, and the songs that you guys have built, and it's really evident on a new record too. But as I was saying before, for some people that are watching, your documentary, which was streaming on Hulu, and on the band, and your history is really, interesting and fascinating in so many ways. But there are so many. It's multi-generational. The artists that you guys have inspired, and I remember how happy I was when I found out that Perfect Circle were going to do The Nurse Who Loved Me. I just was elated that they were going to. I guess I just wanted. Because I felt the failure needed more attention, and anything that would bring more attention to this band that I loved, that was awesome. And I know there's a history, of course, with Maynard Keenan too, of course, in your friendship with them and Tool, and so I was very Billy Howard, right, which was so great. So, who also saw at the premiere. But yeah, it's really incredible, and I just I'm glad to see so many people that have embraced it, and more generations of people that have done that since, guys. But I'm really happy again that you guys are back, and you've been continuing to make great music. And I went to see you the other night, and I see people from other bands there, and just super fans, people that have loved you and discovered you in all different phases of the band. Can we talk about the new record? Because Location Lost, by the way, incredible artwork as well, which is absolutely beautiful. But that's something you've become known for. Tell me about working on this record, and how long you guys been in the process of doing this. Because I know one of the things is you've always, I love, retained creative control since that period of time with A Fantastic Planet.
Yeah, we haven't gone outside yet for producing or mixing.
And then you ended up producing other people over the years too.
Yeah.
Mostly
because of Fantastic Planet, actually.
Yeah.
I got gigs off that record before it even came out. It was weird. But this record, on paper, we made it similarly to how we made the previous record, Wild Type Droid, in that we get together in a studio, all three of us together, and just improvise for like a few weeks, and just capture it all to tape. The hard drive, but and then there's this sort of second phase where we take all that back to my place and we sift through it, and we find the pieces that we like, and we sort of spin those out into arrangements and start working on vocals and lyrics and stuff like that. So that's how we did it. But the difference on this record was that I was in a post-surgery mode where I was not really mentally all there. I had a really tough recovery from a back surgery, and I don't remember that much about the actual improv sessions. I wasn't even there for probably a third of them. But these guys were able to keep it going and keep the momentum going. And then when I started to feel better in the second phase, it was like getting to discover all these treasures that they had created, and just being inspired to spin those out into full songs. So it's sort of like we were lost, and then as I started feeling better, got more inspired and reconnected with the band.
Now, the first single that we played on the air here, and the first single that became available to us was "The Air's on Fire." We did that. Was was there with the fires in Los Angeles? Did that have any? I just have to ask. Like if there was any kind of reference to
No, that was actually a post. That was waking up from surgery and being in a hallucination. Not like I've had several surgeries before, and you wake up and you're kind of out of it and it's slurring your words a little bit.
Yeah.
This was like a full-on hallucination where like the walls were melting, and I was sweating, and it felt like the air was on fire. So that song comes from that experience of. And I got coded in my hospital room, and like all these doctors were coming in and telling me to do various things, and I was barely conscious, so it was a tough one.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're doing much better now, which is great.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm glad we're both here. I mean, I'm glad we're all around. You know what I mean? It's so good
Survivors.
Survivors. It's good to survive and have you guys here with us, which is just so great. And I appreciate you so much for coming in and doing a session today too. You know, a song that recently came out as well that I love from this record is "A Way Down," and I got to see you do that at Zebulon, and it just sounded so great. I mean, it's with Kelly's incredible drums. There's just such a amazing feel. What's that?
That was a cool drum beat. That came directly from the jam sessions.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Not that fun to play, but cool to listen to.
Yeah. But it was amazing. And you built upon that from there, right?
Yeah, basically. I think the chorus beat, which is just kind of like a 4 on the floor beat, was from a different idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think those two were joined together.
No, they weren't joined together. So, but I loved that really fast tom beat that he was doing for a verse idea, and kind of fleshed that out and sent it to the guys, and then figured out what we were going to do for the chorus. And I knew that that other beat was close to the same tempo. So I slid that in, and all of a sudden we had a chorus.
Yeah. Which is.
But my favorite part of that song is the outro.
Yeah.
It really reminds me of like 80s, like Gary Newman or something, or Tubeway Army.
I love Tubeway. Well, you know, how great is that first Tubeway Army album that a lot of people don't give, a lot of people have maybe not have heard the one with the white cover of the outline.
And there's barely any synths on it.
Yeah, it's like at that period he'd only recently found that synthesizer Mini Moog in the studio where he got it for free, and there's the whole story about how he had literally picked it up, turned it on, and heard the wah wah wah, but he got to keep it because somebody had rented one and they had sent two, and they sent one back to the place, and he ended up keeping the synth.
I didn't know that story.
Which is amazing. Wow. And for a while, that Gary Newman synthesizer was on display, and it was incredible because I love those records. Yeah. I saw him. I saw both those tours. I saw the Pleasure Principle tour in 1980 in New York City, and a year later I saw Telecon. I was in love with it. Oh my God, I love those records. From the minute, like those records, Replicas, all those, those were just amazing. I was in love with them immediately. Like I just fell. I was like, it was speaking.
But Tubeway Army was a guitar band.
It was. They started as literally a post-punk, the first people to ever write about cyberpunk, about like things like Necromancer, they literally, Philip K. Dick, William Gibson, the references that he used were just amazing, and that stuff is incredible. So I know what you're talking about there.
It's still the same style, but just different instrumentation.
Yes, which is great. But I love that, and those records are incredible.
I love those records. I had all those records on cassette.
Yeah, and they're so. Did you have the Tubeway Army one too?
Yeah,
listen to.
I had that on vinyl.
Oh my God, what a record!
And then I had Pleasure Principle and Telecon on cassette.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I just cycled
Replicas you had on vinyl too?
No, I think cassette.
Yeah, wow, that's it, and they're so great. It was a life-changing day the first time I heard Our Friends Electric on the radio in Florida. In 1979, visiting my sister, and it was right down the street from the hotel where Keith Richards wrote the riff for satisfaction when he fell asleep with the tape recorder on that night. So my sister lived on this road there with her husband, and I drove down with my high school girlfriend, and I remember hearing this thing coming out of speakers by the pool at this apartment complex, and I went, "What the fuck is this?" And it was fucking Our Friends Electric. I just flipped the first time I heard it, and I was like, all I could think about, and I didn't even know if I got the name of the artist right. Gary Newman, the Tubular Army. I remember the Army part and Newman, but I went all the way back to New Jersey and walked in this record store that I knew and said, "Do you know this?" And then I bought replicas. And and then but it was actually a very important moment in my life because it really, I just
opened up music for you.
Yeah, it was one of the many times where you heard something. It's like when I was driving on the road here and just what I needed for the first time in my car.
Sure.
When I just gotten my license or permit, and it was a brand new single. The album wasn't even out yet, the first car. So it was like, there's moments, in many moments in my life where I hear a song for the first time, and I'm like, holy shit, I remember exactly where I was.
Yeah.
And, but that's how important it was. But I love that. And talking about things that inspire us, one of the things that there's just a lot of great people that were there that ended up as a part of the documentary, which, and Hayley Williams, I love the fact that, she, obviously Paramore had broken through, but when I saw her and heard the story that she was going to be in the documentary and that Fantastic Planet had changed her life and had gotten her through high school, a record that is so important to us. And I just was blown away by that. And I was just so happy to see the generational inspiration of the record. So tell me about that developing friendship after being in the doc and her being on this new track, The Rising Skyline, here on the record.
Yeah.
How that came about.
I ended up mixing a self-titled Paramore record a few years ago, and that's when we kind of rekindled our friendship. We kind of knew each other a little bit before that, but it was that record that kind of put us back into contact together, and we just kind of been texting each other and telling each other what's going on. And then she just randomly, out of the blue, in 24, or was it 25, asked me to perform with her at a benefit show for the LA fires.
Yeah, for the wildfires.
And she said, "I want you to play with me, but I want you to, we're not going to play any Paramore. We're going to play Daylight by Failure and a Bjork song, All Is Full of Love."
Yeah.
And I was like, this is pretty random, but it was a fun thing to do, and we got to hang out and talk. And she was asking me what's going on with Failure, and I said, well, we're in the middle of a record. And she's like, you got to send me some stuff, hook me up. So I sent her a few songs, sent her 3 songs, and she really gravitated towards Rising Skyline. It was just, you guys have never done a song like this before. It's really amazing. And I thought, when she told me that, I was like, I could just hear her voice on the song. So that's when I asked her if she wanted to sing on it.
Yeah.
And she was just finishing up her solo record.
Yeah.
And she had a little time slot because she's so busy now. And she was able to just go in and in an afternoon cut her track and then sent it to me back here in LA.
Yeah, I'm so glad that she did. I mean, I just love, and again, I always love anybody who pays tribute to the band or is spreading the word is always good with me.
I mean, she's her mentioning of the band multiple times has actually changed the makeup of our audience.
Yeah, tell me about that.
I mean, we can see that it's a younger generation now that has kind of latched onto the band, and also more females.
Yeah.
Because in the 90s we were kind of heavier, and also we did so much touring with Tool.
Yeah.
That we were kind of associated with that, the heavier side of things. But her endorsement has really opened up a lot of ears. And a different demographic for us.
Yeah.
topography. It holds quite a lot of interest with your face down on it. And say hello to the shrinking in your head. You can't see it, but you know it's there, so don't neglect it. 'Cause I'm taking her home with me, all dressed in white. She's got everything I need, pharmacy keys, and she's falling hard for me. I can see it in her eyes, she acts just like a nurse with all the other guys. And say hello to all the apples on the ground. They were once in your eyes, but you sneezed them out while sleeping. And say hello to everything you've left behind. It's even more a part of your life now that you can't touch it. 'Cause I'm taking her home with me, all dressed in white. She's got everything I need, some pills and a little cup, and she's falling hard for me. See it in her eyes, she acts just like a nurse with all the other guys. She's got everything I need, pharmacy keys. She acts just like a nurse with all the other guys. Say hello to the rug's topography.
Greg, tell me about, like I love you did an arrangement, stripped down an acoustic guitar arrangement of The Nurse Who Loved Me. And that's the way you and I talked once before about, you mentioned that was the way the song was originally written.
Yeah, the original demo of the song was just 2 acoustic guitars and a DX7 keyboard doing bass notes.
Yeah.
And the main piano theme was on acoustic. And then there was just the rhythm track playing the chords, rhythm acoustic underneath that. And that was the whole arrangement. And then when I brought it into the band and we started working it up, I don't know at what point we decided to try piano, but it worked so well on piano. And also the piano could do the chord changes underneath the repeating theme.
Yeah.
and that worked great. But when we were thinking about doing an acoustic version for your show, we just thought, why not try 12-string?
Yeah.
Because that's a richer sound, and it has a little bit more of a piano tone to it, and it really
sounds like piano in a lot of ways.
Yeah. So it absolutely works, and it was fun because it reminded me of that original moments of writing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was more than just acoustic guitars on your demo, though. Was it a bunch of sound effects and
there was whatever the hell I was doing on the DX7.
Yeah.
There was like some really silly bass DX7 sound holding down the fundamentals, and
That was another Lita thing.
yeah.
One of you guys found the piano under her bed, and it wound up on that and stuck on you.
Yeah.
Wow.
And blank, too.
Yeah.
Really?
Otherwise, there may not have been piano on that record.
I literally lost a sock under the bed, searching under there, pull out what was it, a Korg?
I think it was a big, heavy Korg piano, but it had like a synth sound on it, and it had an organ sound.
Yeah.
And we also used that for that segue. I forget which number segue it is, but the one with the sample of the race cars.
Going into Dirty Blue Balloons.
Yeah, those chords are on that Lita Ford keyboard too.
It's amazing. So she just left it there. So you rented the house. She still
She
owned
left
it.
all of her stuff there.
She left a whole bunch
we
of
were
her
wearing
personal
I
things
was wearing
there.
her slippers and one of her robes.
I would love to see Lita Ford slippers.
We lived there for like 6 months.
That's amazing. That's incredible. So like, and especially with like with that age, you know what I mean? Like, and you're making a record and you're like.
It was very
out
random
Yeah.
that's because she was living in Florida, I think, at the time.
No, Portland. Her and Jim
Portland.
Gillette. You remember that guy?
Yeah.
He was in the back of the heavy metal magazines doing vocal lessons.
Yeah.
That was her husband at the time.
They showed up one
They
day.
were building their dream
Yeah.
home.
They did visit one day.
Yeah. And we were trying to decide what to play for them.
Yeah.
And they were like, because they wanted to hear something.
Yeah.
She demanded to hear something. And so we played them Sergeant Politeness.
Yeah. Great song.
And they were kind of like, pretty cool. I don't hear the like high up vocals really, but like there's no solo really, but it's heavy.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's such a great
The
story.
guys from Medicine actually turned us on to the house.
Yeah.
They had just
Yeah.
previously worked.
Yeah.
Their foundation was crumbling because of the earthquake, so they couldn't sell it.
Yeah.
So they were renting it out to a few people until
I
they
see.
could figure that whole thing out.
Yeah. That's an amazing story. And then it was.
And it was perfect because we had on one side, one neighbor was deaf, and one neighbor was
Recently deceased.
dead. So it was
Perfect.
house
Not
was-
to be disturbed by the noise.
I mean, it was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Up in La Carsana, Tonga. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
yeah.
I love finding the keyboard. So did they reclaim the keyboard ever, or did?
We didn't take it.
No, we didn't take all of the stuff we
left
lived in.
because-
Yeah.
Stayed there.
Yeah.
We laundered it and put it back nice.
Yeah. Make sure you clean it. That's incredible.
But it's fun. But if that keyboard hadn't been there, the album would have been
Sounded different.
very different. Yeah.
Is that the same keyboard
I mean,
that you also
that's the
use?
Stuck on You sound,
Which is
a
so
piano, a digital piano run through my Marshall
Wow.
amp, and it's the sound that like puzzled Butch Vig for like months, and he was trying to get it on guitar,
Yeah.
and he never really got it, and I was finally talking to him about it, and I was like, dude, it was a piano, and he was like,
That's amazing. Yeah. That's
Is that
great.
piano also on the Replicants record?
oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second. So that's a great. I mean, the Replicants record that you made. Speaking of Gary Newman, and
Yeah.
which I love on there, and I mean,
It's
it's
electric.
Our Friends Electric.
and
is
that was
on there.
made at Lita Ford's house.
Right after
we made
our
that
record.
right. We went right out of Fantastic Planet into the Replicants.
Which is amazing because so for people that aren't familiar with that record, it's an incredible record of the covers you did on there. Of course, Maynard has his silly love songs on there.
moment,
That Maynard.
That
does.
was actually a requirement of Zoo Entertainment.
Yeah.
They said if you guys want to make, they heard like a demo of 3 covers that we were just testing the equipment with,
Yeah.
It was Matt Marshall.
Yeah.
And he was like, I talked to the boss, and he said, if you get Maynard to sing on one song, he'll give you money to make a Replicants record. So that's how that happened.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And we were trying to figure out what's
Person's on there, of course.
yeah,
so then-
yeah, sort of like a Nine Inch Nails version of
Destination.
Destination Unknown. Yeah.
And we did Silly Love Songs. We did sort of the John Paul, the fight songs. You know,
Yeah.
how do you sleep?
How do
and
you
Silly
sleep
Love
with
The
the
Songs.
answer.
Yeah.
The answer to each other.
Yeah. And which is
It's a random selection. There's like some 80s stuff like Missing Persons
Steely
and some
Dan.
more
And Dirty Work.
70s Dirty
Bewley
Work.
Brothers.
Dirty Work, by the way, is just one of the greatest songs. It's one of those. First of all, Can't Buy the Thrill's a fucking amazing record. I love
Yeah.
that album start
Yeah.
to finish.
That version of the Bewley Brothers, I think, is my favorite song on that
That
record.
cool doing Bowie
Yeah.
from that to do that song of all the songs on Hunky Dory. That's what's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, and then
I think more of it.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, right.
the record, it's not available. You can't get it.
I was always wondering if that somehow you'd be able to get that on vinyl someday to get the rights back to put that out because fans would
Releasing
love that.
covers,
Yeah.
self-releasing covers is such a hard.
It's a lot of work, right?
It's a lot of royalty work, and I wouldn't do that because unless a label was involved.
Yeah.
And their licensing
Legal
department.
department.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't. We were coming out of Fantastic Planet, which we felt pretty good about what we created.
Yes.
With that, and I wouldn't say that I'm quite as proud of Replicants as Fantastic Planet. 'Cause
Well,
we didn't
of
write
course.
the songs, but in terms of just the creativity of the production and the arrangements and what we, I think that record is really,
It's a really cool record.
really
So-
unique and
yeah.
fun, and it's a great take on all those songs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you guys did a great job on that. And it was a cool record. And I played it on the air and you just realized I need to put some of those tracks in the system here at the SoCal Sound so I can put it on my Cover Me feature, which
There
is
you
like
go.
that feature I do
Okay.
every day. Because it's like just thinking about it now. I mean, it was fun because I used to pull stuff from it and play it on K-Rock in New York.
Oh, right.
You know what I
right.
mean? When I
Yeah.
had my Sunday night show there for 10
Yeah.
years. So
You got to find a CD of it or something.
Yeah.
And it was cool because we had, I don't know if we mentioned this, Paul DeMore,
Yeah.
the original bass player of Tool, and
Yeah.
Chris Pittman, who became the keyboardist in Guns N' Roses for a long, in the long, weird stretch up to Chinese Democracy.
Yeah.
Through that whole period. But both incredible, excellent musicians. They were part of that.
yeah.
And Lusk.
Unless
And-
it kind of came out of Replicants.
Yeah,
didn't it?
yeah, Lusk, yeah.
Yeah.
The Lost Man,
Yeah, Free Mars, that also a great record.
That's
Yeah.
a really cool record.
There's some really amazing stuff that's all been offshoot. And I just keep, again, thinking about how many people have been inspired by the band and still are. And I saw, again, a lot of musicians who were there last night, but it's just, I'm glad that the documentary had been made so it could turn some other people onto the band. And that's what I'm always hoping for. Is just new audience for a great band, and that's why I'm excited about the new record too, which is so cool. Location Lost is a great title for the record too, and the artwork. Can we talk about the artwork before we head out, guys? Is that cool?
It was mostly Greg.
Yeah.
This one.
Greg, tell me about this.
Glenn.
I think it was just it's just the idea. I mean, there's always been this paranoid idea in humanity that we're all being watched, whether it's by God is watching everything you do, or the state or whatever. But I think now we're just all watching each other, and we're all being watched by the technology that's allowing us to watch each other. I mean, there's no sense in even having an illusion of privacy anymore, and that was sort of the idea, and can you escape that? Can you get away from that?
Yeah.
And also just as a species, for all of our advancements and evolution, we're lost.
Yeah.
We're lost, even at a fundamental level of understanding, like phenomenologically, what we are and where we exist. At a subatomic level, nothing makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
We don't know how big are we, how small are we, you know. If you go into inner space, we're giant. If you go into outer space, we're the smallest thing you could imagine. It's you know, there's a lot of ideas like that in the lyrics and the records. There's in the album, and that was sort of the inspiration for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks amazing, and it's so true. It's you know, with technology, it's like, you know, advancing faster than humanity itself. You know what I mean? Like
Our brains are still evolved to 100,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the technology
Yeah.
that we wield.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the scary thing. I mean, people are scared of AI and technology and the dehumanizing potential of it. But also, I'm scared of, you know, the technology becoming more human
Yes.
than we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Actually, you know, having more soul than we have, because we're sort of outsourcing our heart to this other alien thing that's just been created, you know, right by us, right under our noses. It's not coming from outer space, but it's here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've had my friends tell me about other people that they knew that were neighbors just having long conversations with ChatGPT, and like and how they were like saw that. It's almost like the first time you went to a restaurant and saw everybody looking at their phone, how alien that felt.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, you know, it's the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, you know.
Well, right outside, everyone was just walking around like this.
Yeah, it's a
Crazy. And
Crazy
it's beautiful outside.
Yeah.
No one's like taking part in it.
And well, all I gotta say is that's why I love this vinyl of this album. I still love Tangible Things, and this is a beautiful record. And you know, the great thing about music is, you know, you really want to find things that you love that still really express how you feel, and a reflection of that. And I think that's the humanity there, which is really incredible. But I love this record, and I just wanted to thank you guys. It's just so good to have you here coming in. And
Yeah, it's really good to see you.
You know,
Long time coming.
yeah, it's great to have you guys here, and I'm glad we could do it. You know, and I know you guys got the full tour coming up too,
Yeah.
right? So can we talk about the date, the Los Angeles date that's coming up?
Mm-hmm.
In the second leg of the tour starts in the fall.
Yes.
And it ends.
The last date of that will be LA at the Belasco.
Yeah.
The Belasco, October 30th, I think.
Yeah, which
right?
is a great
The night
Yeah.
before Halloween.
Yeah.
missive night.
I just realized
They
that.
We
just called
just
me
did that with the Cult too, the night before Halloween.
That's right, yeah.
And I was there for that show.
Yeah.
Oh, you were?
Show.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming. It was just so awesome to have you guys here, as it always is. You know, Kelly Scott, of course, Greg Edwards, and Ken Andrews from the band Failure. And make sure you go see them live. And if you love tangible things like this and a record, it's just a beautiful, beautiful artwork for Location Lost, a new record. Make sure you check it out. However you enjoy music. And thanks so much for hanging out with us today here at the SoCal Sound.
Thank you.
Good to
Thanks,
see you
Matt.
guys. Hey, it's Matt Pinfield here. You just watched something pretty special, and trust me, there's a whole lot more of that on this channel. Click into this next session and keep the music going. If you're into discovering great artists and hearing the stories behind the songs, subscribe and hang with us here at the SoCal Sound.